Educational content is the keystone of a digital training course because it contains the knowledge to be acquired. There are different types of content that the trainer must master because they each have different characteristics that can be more or less conducive to learning. Three types of educational content must be distinguished: passive content, dynamic content, interactive content. Images, graphics, and text are passive content because the learner could only consult them. It can also be considered directive content because it is scripted from the trainer's point of view, which does not always correspond to the way some learners may perceive information. Podcasts or sound recordings and videos, filmed or in motion design, are considered dynamic audio-visual resources. This content is also considered directive and linear because it is scripted from the trainer's point of view. Interactive content is the most engaging and motivating because it allows learners to manipulate it freely in order to build their knowledge without linearity. The trainer's directive is almost non-existent, except that he or she must think carefully about how to script all possible interactions. There are several types of interactive content. The point resource can be manipulated in rotation, scale, or trigger animations. The simulator principle allows the learner, through successive interactions, to practice their knowledge skills in a socio-professional context. Random events can also be programmed to allow learners to reflect on the procedures they perform. The trainer also has the opportunity to evaluate the actions of the learners. The serious game, which can be likened to a succession of simulations or interactive situations that are motivating thanks to the concept of gamification. The serious game also integrates the evaluation system. In general, educational content is created with dedicated software, either paid or free. Depending on the level of mastery of this software, the trainer can call on resource persons who will help in the production of this content. However, depending on the tools used to design this type of content, it is possible, thanks to digital images, that is 2D and 3D, to illustrate information or concepts that are difficult to observe with the eye using a camera. As technology rapidly evolves, realistic 3D simulations and immersive technologies, such as virtual or augmented reality, are gradually becoming more commonplace. These technologies make it possible to create pseudo-real learning environments, allowing learners to train as if they were in a professional situation. They allow experimentation without safety risks and without economic consequences because the learning resources are unlimited. The trainer also has the possibility, thanks to these technologies, of having a virtual classroom with all the necessary didactic equipment in which he or she can meet with all his or her learners to give a course, in which he can be with all his learners to teach a course. Immersive technologies add significant value to the training experience because the learner is no longer in front of a screen, but is immersed in the virtual training environment via a headset. This captures his or her attention because the environment is no longer an obstacle to training. The use of this type of technology also requires the trainer to think of new forms of evaluation. Once the educational content has been developed, the trainer can distribute it via a platform or LMS, which will enable him to manage the administration of his training. She will be able to link his or her content to the previously identified pedagogical objectives and allocate the training to the learners of his or her choice. He or she can also set up the evaluation system and monitor the progress of the learners in the various training contents. He or she can also set up the type of training he or she wishes to provide, that is, synchronous or asynchronous, as well as the methods of communication with the learners. There are a large number of LMSs, both paid and free, available on the market. Before choosing an LMS, the trainer must define the functionalities needed in order to have a tool that is optimized for teaching practices. However, setting up a platform requires technical skills or the help of an educational engineer who will program the platform according to the parameters indicated by the trainer. Finally, social networks are also interesting tools to exploit in the context of digital training. They can be used to publicize the existence of the course or to share feedback or evaluation results with a community. It is also a way for learners and the trainer to communicate in a context outside the training framework.